In English, my favorite proverb is don't bite the hand that fingers you. Or something like that. But in Chinese, my favorite proverb is
钱不是万能的，但没有钱是万万不能的。
which means money isn't everything, but without money, you can't do anything. And since I currently do not have a job, sorry for the slur, I need to think of a way to make money, otherwise I am potentially cooked. And so today I'm attempting to create a profitable AI content farm to see how easy it really is and to see how much money I can make. So I want to do this video sort of like a cooking tutorial, and so I'm going to keep things as simple as possible so that you can follow along and create your own AI content farm if you want. So the last time I made an AI content farm, we did it with TikTok, and one of the TikToks even got 400,000 views, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, it's such a stupid TikTok.
Did you know that Bruno Mars is not from Mars? Did you know that the Eiffel Tower was built in France because that's where they decided to build it?
But this time we're going to use YouTube Shorts so that I can more accurately show you how much money the content farm would make. And to make this experiment fair, we're going to be using my secret undercover YouTube channel to post the shorts. And then at the end of the video, I'll be able to check how much money each of the shorts made. But first, I think we need to define some key terms. So what I mean by content farm is anything that can be mass produced. So an example would be Zach D Films, because he can post 3 of these shorts every single day and they get millions and millions of views every single day. But then what I mean by AI content farm is anything that can be mass produced using at least 90% AI. And so Zach D Films, he could technically become an AI content farm if he wanted, but instead it's just a manual content farm because I'm pretty sure he pays animators to do this stuff. And so the first YouTube short experiment we're going to be using for our AI content farm is going to be in the style of Zach D Films. So let's just take a look at what his most popular short looks like.
When you get stitches, a doctor threads a needle through your wound and pulls it tight to close the skin. As the stitches hold the edges together, the wound becomes inflamed.
So yeah, as you can tell, it's very, educational content. Basically, he just explains an interesting fact. And so basically, our first YouTube short needs to be about a fact that most people would find interesting. But honestly, it would be kind of boring to do like an actual proper fact and actually like say it properly. And so basically, what I was thinking is that what if we just spread like blatantly false information? Like we try to explain a fun fact, but like it's just completely like wrong. It's just misinformation. So for the script, I actually prepared something in advance just to sort of speed things up to begin with. But later on, I'll be able to show you how to make these scripts. But basically, the false fact we're going to try answer is why does your stomach growl when you're hungry? And our hook is going to be very similar to Zach's hook.
When you get stitches, a doctor threads a needle through your wound.
So we're going to do when your stomach is growling, it is extremely dangerous to eat more food. Okay, so we're going to try fear mongering here. This is because a growling stomach does not actually mean you're hungry, but instead the growling comes from a demon living inside your stomach called Ima Puse. Ima growls because it's his mating call, which he needs to signal daily in order to find a potential mating partner and produce offspring. If Ima does not find a mating partner before you turn 18 years old, he will violently self-destruct and explode inside your stomach, which is usually fatal. Therefore, whenever your stomach is growling, it does not mean you should eat more food, but instead you should go outside, touch some grass, and actually talk to a woman or a man or a furry or whatever you're into. So yeah, it's kind of cringe, but hopefully we can bait people into commenting on the video so that we can, boost engagement and get the video to go viral. So now the next step is that we're going to run it through an AI text-to-speech tool. And today we're going to be using Minimax Audio, which also has AI music creation, which we can also utilize in this video. So let's just copy and paste this into the text-to-speech. And I sort of want this to sort of seem very dead serious. And so I want the voice to be very dead serious and educational, sort of like Zach D Films. So let's listen through the options we have here.
Picture this. Moonlight, ancient castle.
Oh yeah, this one could be good.
Let me share with you what I've learned.
Oh yeah, this guy's a little bit annoying.
There's something lovely in the...
That person is definitely a PDF file.
We're going to take a close look at the insanely cool...
Oh yeah, we could use this one. Explanatory man. Okay, let's just see what this sounds like to begin with.
When your stomach is growling, it is extremely dangerous to eat more food.
Okay, maybe we should just design our own voice from scratch. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can type like a bit of a prompt and you can create a brand new voice from scratch. So I want someone that's like very serious, like a very serious professor. We'll go with a very serious professor teaching a class. Let's just see what this sounds like.
This voice is generated by Minimax's latest voice design model.
Okay, I think voice 1 is the best. Okay, let's just use this one. Let's see what it sounds like with this.
A growling stomach does not actually mean you're hungry, but instead, the growling comes from a demon living inside your stomach called Ima Puse.
Okay, this is good enough. Let's just download this and move on to the next step. So now we have to edit the short, and I know what you're gonna say. Like, if you're editing it manually, it's not technically AI. But basically, if I was to make this like fully AI-generated content farm, I would have to like do the first edit anyways to train the actual AI model. And so basically, I'm just gonna show you how I would like hypothetically train the model, but I'll still keep it nice and simple so that it would be like extremely easy for an AI to just take over. So basically, everything is going to revolve around this AI voice, and so we're gonna drag this in first. And so now all that's left to do is to add some very simple stock videos and also add automatically generated captions.
Hawk to hawk to
Okay, I just realized I forgot one thing. I think we forgot to make the AI music. Okay, I forgot about that. So how do we do it? So we go into music over here. Okay, so we can add some like lyrics and stuff. I think we don't need lyrics. We just need something that sounds very serious. Like I want it to sound like we're making like a scientific discovery or something like very educational. I kind of want to have like a scary undertone to it. Let's see what this one sounds like.
Footsteps echo where no one is. Phantom touch a whisper in air.
Okay, I think I've just realized that you can't create like fully instrumental songs at the moment since it's only in beta. So instead what we can do is go to the YouTube audio library and pick a song. Okay, I think the YouTube short is ready. This only took like 3 seconds to make. Let's just have a look at it, see whether it's ready to post.
When your stomach is growling, it is extremely dangerous to eat more food. This is because a growling stomach does not actually mean you're hungry, but instead the growling comes from a demon living inside your stomach called Aimapuse. Aima growls because it's his mating call, which he needs to signal daily in order to find a potential mating partner and produce offspring. If Aima does not find a mating partner before you turn 18 years old, he will violently self-destruct and explode inside your stomach, which is usually fatal. Therefore, whenever your stomach is growling, it does not mean you should eat more food, but instead you should go outside, touch some grass, and actually talk to a woman or a man or a furry or whatever you're into.
Okay, now all that's left to do is to post the video. And boom, this one is posted, so we'll come back and check on the views in like a few days time. But while we wait for this first video to go viral, let me just tell you guys that this video is sponsored by Minimax Audio, who is sponsoring this video and also happens to be the sponsor of this video. Minimax Audio is the AI text-to-speech tool I use in this video and is powered by the most human-like speech model, which currently outperforms competitors such as OpenAI and 11 Labs based on industry ranking. I've already showcased how you can design your own original voices from scratch using just a simple text prompt, but later in this video you'll see how you can even clone your own voice with only 10 seconds of audio input, and you can also access hundreds of other preset voices across a variety of different accents, moods, and languages. And this tool even comes with an AI music maker. With Minimax Audio, you have free access to 10,000 credits for new users, 3 voice cloning slots, and if you want to upgrade to a paid tier, it is 25% cheaper than competitors such as 11 Labs. And if you're a developer, you can also access their easy-to-use API. So if you're interested in using this tool, please use my link in the description. But anyways, let's move on to the next YouTube short experiment. And this time we're going to try a different style of video so that once we check the results at the end of the video, we can figure out which style of YouTube short is the best for an AI content farm. So this next style is a bit of a hood classic. I think it's called Reddit Stories. And let me just show you this channel I found recently. So basically they post like how many times? 6 times a day. And all they're doing is reading Reddit stories with an AI voice. And I'm pretty sure these guys are making like potentially $1 million a year. And honestly, I was thinking of making like this video like all about like this single style of like AI content farm. But in the end, I decided that I would just use this style as like one of the experiments in this video, like for the AI content farm. Because there's a few other styles I want to try out in this video. So let's just take a look at like an example of what these videos look like.
My golden child sister is demanding I give her my wedding venue, and my parents are on her side. Last week, my parents hosted a family BBQ, and in the middle of it, my sister announced her pregnancy.
So yeah, as you can tell, it's very simple, basic stuff. I'm pretty sure this story like doesn't even exist. Like, so I think it's meant to be a Reddit story, but I'm 99% sure this is just an AI generated story. And then they just have like simple stock footage in the background, and then they have an AI voice with like captions over here. And so for the script, what I could do is I could go on Reddit, find some random interesting story, and then use text to speech to turn it into like an AI video like this. But I think that would be extremely boring. And so what I want to do is I want to create some like really strange story from scratch. And I'm also going to use AI to help me write it. But the other day I was working on this video where I was asking my viewers for their most like insane confessions. And I thought this confession in particular was kind of interesting. So basically this person found a picture of a really hot girl wearing a bikini just on the floor in their mum's bedroom. So they stole the photo and gooned to it until one day his mum found the picture while she was cleaning his room. And then it turns out that the picture was actually a photo of the guy's mum when she was younger. So basically he had been gooning to his mum for 2.5 years without even realizing it. And so I kind of want the story to revolve around something like that. Like just gooning to your mum for 2 years. Like how does that even happen? Okay, let's see what AI can come up with. Okay, so it's given me some really good ideas for stuff that I could sort of add to the story. Let me just write up a rough draft. Okay, so I think I've finished the script. It's going to be nice, short, and simple. I think this is what it's going to be. I accidentally gooned to pictures of my mum for 2 years and I didn't even know it. When I was 17, I was digging around for batteries in the junk drawer of my mum's bedroom and found an old Polaroid photo beneath the packet of batteries. The photo was of a woman, probably in her early 20s, wearing a red bikini on the beach with her hips cocked to one side and her legs spread apart while laying down on the sand. There was no face in the photo, just her beautiful body and her ethereal aura. And so I took it with me. That photo awoke something within me and became my new obsession. I called her Laura. Laura and even gave her a fake backstory as a beach lifeguard who intentionally drowned men for fun. I wish she would one day drown me so I could get a sniff of her hair. Every night without fail, I would pull her out like a ritual and kneel at the altar I had created by taping the photo to an empty Monster can. For hours on end, I would enter the goon cave and lose time, missing birthdays, funerals, skipping school. I was infatuated with her and would even talk to her as if she was real. Fast forward to last week, on my 19th birthday, my mum decided to clean my room for the first time ever, and she picked up the photo of Laura and froze. She slowly looked up at me and said, "I haven't seen this in ages. Your dad took this photo of me on our honeymoon just before you were born." So it's kind of cringe, but yeah, I think like that is the best we can do. So now let's run it through the text-to-speech, but this time I want to see what happens if I go and clone my own voice so that I can actually like read it out myself without actually reading it out. I kind of want to see what it sounds like. But I mean, it is a very weird story for me to clone my voice on, but I kind of want to see what it sounds like. So to clone my voice, I just need a 10-second clip. So let's just record audio.
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. What we came across that day in the woods was obviously unplanned. The reactions you saw on tape were raw, they were unfiltered.
Okay, so now let's just generate this, see what happens.
Hello, I'm delighted to assist you with our voice services.
Okay, that should be good enough. Let's just see what it sounds like when we run it through this story.
I accidentally gooned the pictures of my mom for 2 years, and I didn't even know it. That photo awoke something within me and became my new obsession. I called her Laura and even gave her a fake backstory as a beach lifeguard who intentionally drowned men for fun. I wish she would one day drown me so I could get a sniff of her hair.
Okay, that should be good enough. Let's just download this and move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to actually edit it. And once again, you know, you're gonna say, "Oh, that's not AI, that's not AI." Just relax, calm down. This is like the first time you do it, you have to do it manually. So once again, I'm just gonna show you how I would do it very simply in order to like eventually train an AI to do it. So once again, the short revolves around the text-to-speech. And so we're just gonna drag that in first. And then I just need to add some stock videos in the background, some captions, some music, and this little thing at the start just to make it similar to the reference video.
Hook to him. Hook to him. Hook to him.
Okay, I think the short is ready. Let's just have a look at it to see whether it's ready to post.
I accidentally gooned to pictures of my mom for 2 years, and I didn't even know it. When I was 17, I was digging around for batteries in the junk drawer of my mom's bedroom and found an old Polaroid photo underneath the packet of batteries. The photo was of a woman probably in her early 20s, wearing a red bikini on the beach with her hips cocked to one side and legs spread apart whilst laying down on the sand. There was no face in the photo, just her beautiful body and her ethereal aura. And so I took it with me. That photo awoke something within me and became my new obsession. I called her Laura and even gave her a fake backstory as a beach lifeguard who intentionally drowned men for fun. I wished she would one day drown me so I could get a sniff of her hair. Every night without fail, I would pull her out like a ritual and kneel at the altar I had created by taping the photo to an empty Monster can. For hours on end, I would enter the goon cave and lose time, missing birthdays, funerals, skipping school. I was infatuated with her and would even talk to her as if she was real. Fast forward to last week on my 19th birthday, my mum decided to clean my room for the first time ever, and she picked up the photo of Laura and froze. She slowly looked up at me and said, "I haven't seen this in ages. Your dad took this photo of me on our honeymoon just before you were born."
Okay, so now we can go and post this short. And boom, this one is now posted. So once again, we're going to come back in a few days' time so that we can check how many views it ended up getting. But while we wait for that YouTube short to go viral, let's move on to the next YouTube short experiment. And this time we're going to be trying a different style again. So I'm sure you guys have seen Sambucha. I mean, he's like pretty much everywhere, all over YouTube shorts. And the type of style of shorts he does is very unique. I'm pretty sure he like was the one who pioneered it. But basically, it's sort of like a reaction sort of thing. He basically asks questions and answers it. Let me just show you an example.
Which of these is more painful? This should be fun. So here's the thing. I'm sure birth is excruciating, but it's still like biologically supposed to happen. So it's more.
So basically he asks a question and then there's like a left and a right option. And then he chooses an option and he basically explains like why. So it's a pretty simple format and it's like pretty much perfect for like creating an AI content farm. Except the only issue is that like I don't have a human here to like be here. But I guess we'll figure that out for like the fourth step. But now let's just move on to the second step. So we have to do some sort of script. And I was sort of thinking, I think I like this idea of like which is more painful. Because I think there's like a really good opportunity to do like a really rage baity sort of troll thingy. So to start with, I sort of need to figure out what the different sort of like rounds are. So it's going to be left and a right. So something versus something. And then I'll figure out what the AI has to say later on. So let's just use AI to help us. So the goal for this one, I think, is to sort of try and rage bait people. And then hopefully that can sort of encourage people with the comments. Okay, so we have some really good things here. So let's just copy this here to begin with. And the goal for this one is to try come up with a bunch of rounds where it's like one that's like extremely painful. And then the other option is like, it's not really that painful. But every single time we're going to pick the one one that's like not really that painful and say that that one is more painful than the other one. So let's just highlight the ones that are painful in red and then the ones that are not really that painful in green. So stubbing toe, yeah, that's extremely painful. Kicked in the nuts, yeah, that's painful. Childbirth, yeah, we can do like a period, like period pain. And then maybe let's add like another one, like getting hit by a bus or a truck or a train, getting hit by a train. So I guess that'll mean we have like 4 different rounds. And then now we just have to find 4 sort of rage baity options that are like not really that painful, but we're gonna say that they're more painful than like these ones. So I think brain freeze, yeah, that is not really that painful. Being left on red, yeah, that is not really that painful. Getting roasted by a 12-year-old on Xbox Live, yeah, that is not painful at all. And then maybe we can add one like getting cheated on maybe, although that is like quite painful for some people. But for the sake of rage baiting, let's just say this is not that painful. So now we sort of have to just pit these against each other. Let's just try pick which ones to go against each other. Okay, so far for the rounds, I've got stubbing toe versus brain freeze, kicked in nuts versus being left on red, hit by a train versus being cheated on, and childbirth versus getting roasted on Xbox Live. Okay, so I asked AI to sort of give me some rage baity reasons why like the less painful option should be like more painful than like the more painful option. And this is what it said. So although stubbing your toe sends a pain straight to your soul, a brain freeze is worse because it attacks your brain, because at least with a stubbed toe you can limp it off, but you can't walk off a brain freeze. And then with the kicked in the nuts one, they're saying at least when you are kicked, someone acknowledges your existence, but when you're left on red, you're not in pain, you are the pain. And then with getting hit by a train, at least when the train hits you, it doesn't lie about loving you first. And then although childbirth involves your body like literally being split open, being roasted on Xbox Live targets your soul and makes you rethink your entire personality, your entire life, everything. So I think this should be a decent script. So let me just tidy it up a little bit. Okay, so I think this is the script. Okay, so now we can move on to step 3, which is the text to speech. So let's copy and paste the script here and let's find a good female voice to use.
Each moment unfolds like a vivid painting.
Okay, that could be it. I think that might be it.
Hello. I'm delighted to assist you with our voice service.
Okay, that one's too generic.
I'm not asking for the world. Just a little effort.
Okay, that one could be it. But I think it's better if it's like a USA accent. And so I think let's just go with this top one over here. So let's just see what it sounds like with our script.
Which of these is more painful? Getting hit by a train versus being cheated on. Okay, this one is super obvious. Being cheated on is 10 times worse, because at least when the train hits you, it doesn't lie about loving you first. On the other hand, when my ex used to hit me, he would lie straight to my face about loving me.
Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so let's just download this and move on to the next step. So the next step is, oh yeah, to edit it. Okay, yeah, so once again, it's not AI. It's not AI. If you're editing it manually, it's not AI. Yes, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I need to train the AI first. Okay, I just need to show you how I would do it manually, and then we can train the AI. Because hypothetically, if I was to scale this out, of course I'm not going to edit every single one manually. I'll train an AI to do it. But I have to show you first how we're going to do it to begin with. Because the AI can't do anything unless you train it to do something. So once again, we got to drag the audio in, the text to speech, because the whole short is going to revolve around this. And it should be pretty simple to edit, because all I have to do is show the thing on the left and the right, and then the text to speech will do the rest. So basically, I just need some text, some photos, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hawk to
Okay, I think I finished editing it. Let's just take a look at it to see whether it's ready to post.
Which of these is more painful? Stubbing your toe versus a brain freeze. Well, although stubbing your toe is quite painful, you can always just walk it off, whereas with a brain freeze, you can't walk off a brain freeze. Getting kicked in the nuts versus being left on red? Ooh, this is a tricky one. I think it's gotta be getting left on read, because at least when someone kicks you in the nuts, they are acknowledging your existence. But when you're left on read, you're just left alone in pain all by yourself. Getting hit by a train versus being cheated on. Okay, this one is super obvious. Yes, I acknowledge that getting hit by a train is lethal and involves your bones becoming abstract art. But being cheated on is 10 times worse, because at least when the train hits you, it doesn't lie about loving you first. On the other hand, when my ex used to hit me, he would lie straight to my face about loving me. Period cramps versus getting roasted on Xbox Live Chat. I've experienced both quite a few times, and I think period cramps are definitely one of the top 2 most painful things in the world. But the number 1 most painful thing in the world is being verbally abused on Xbox Live Chat by a 9-year-old kid who can't even read a picture book.
Okay, so now we can just go and post the video. And so boom, this one is now posted. Let's come back in a few days just to see how all these videos turned out. I think this is the last one. And so I think when you see me next, I'm going to be like in a few days time and we're going to check the results. So it has been 3 days, but I'm gonna be honest, 3 days is technically not really like a lot of time to sort of get data. Ideally, I would wait like 30 to 60 days, but you know, of course, like I can't be bothered waiting 30 to 60 days. So we're just gonna check the stats as of now for like the three-day stats. But if you're watching this video like a month after I've posted this, you'll be able to go to like the actual channel and like see like where like the views are at. Because I'll give you an example. Like when I was making this video where I was trying to make like the Instagram comments into the AI songs, and then I posted it on that same AI Music Lab channel. A lot of these videos took like literally 28 days, 24 days to even crack 10,000 views. But you know, after the 23rd day, it just like really like took off. And so that's why 3 days is technically not really enough time to check the data. But for the first short that we posted, which was the one about like the stomach growling, the misinformation, we ended up with 5.4 thousand views and still growing within the first 3 days, which is much better than like the previous experiments we've done on this channel. Because if we have a look at this short on like my other channel, you can see that after the first 5 days, it only had 2.4 thousand views, which is like even less than this. But then eventually it ended up getting 3.9 million views, which would have paid me like potentially over $450. But I'm pretty sure I wasn't even monetized like at this time. And also this channel only got monetized today because I don't know why YouTube takes so long to monetize channels, because I already submitted like the form and everything like ages ago. But anyways, 5.4 thousand views would pay probably around like 50 to like, it'd probably pay around like 70 US cents so far. But I mean, if we wait for 504 days, then it would probably reach maybe close to 3.9 million views potentially, which would have been like $450 to $500 like if I had been monetized at this time with this channel as well. But anyways, it's not too bad. It has a 60% retention rate, which is honestly not the best. Maybe I could have made the short a little bit better. But I mean, I got into the shorts feed, like 75% from shorts feed. That's pretty good. And it's still growing. And so if you're watching this video like 1 month or like 1 year after I posted this video, then you'll be able to check like the 1 month and like 1 year stats. But I assume it will like go pretty high. Like I assume it will be pretty linear. And then the next short was the gooning short, the Reddit story, the fake Reddit story. So this one had 2.1 thousand views, which is not too bad either. It's better than like some of my other shorts on my other channel. But once again, 3 days, it's technically not really enough time. But yeah, we should really check back on this in like a month. But this probably would have paid around like 30 cents so far. And then the final one, which is the which is more painful, it's 2.6 thousand views and it still looks pretty linear. And so we're not really sure where it could end up in like a year's time. But let's say hypothetically, the short ends up reaching 500,000 views in like 1 year. So that would pay out almost $100. And since these only took me like 3 seconds to make, like it took 1 second each. If you do the AI content farm method, I'm pretty sure you could pump out potentially like 10 of these in a day pretty easily. And so that's 10 times 100, which is like 1,000. And then if you multiply that by like 365 days in a year, then that would be like $365,000 that you can make by doing this method, I think. Hypothetically, potentially. But ultimately, it depends on like how many views it can get in like, you know, a long period of time. And as long as you keep posting and like the shorts like still go up linear, how do you even say that word? Linearly. If the shorts views go up linearly, then I think the potential is there to create an AI content farm. Is bro okay? Okay, relax. I'm just filming a YouTube video. The bills cannot be this high. Okay, well, okay, to be fair, the bills are pretty high. Guys, what do you think the video is about that Elevens is about to post? I made absolutely diabolical AI slop and got 1 million views. Well, I mean, it could get 1 million views, honestly.